Welcome to the Beckoning Path.
Thank you.
So happy to be with Ken Cohen, the author of The Way of Qigong, The Art and Science of Chinese Energy Healing.
My fans are called Coneheads.
Coneheads. Take me through your leader. This is the seminal, fundamental book, certainly in the West, about Qigong. You're much more than just a writer. This is a reflection of a lifetime of practice. What began your Qigong journey?
Oh, you know who Alan Watts is,
Sure.
right? He's one of the people that introduced Buddhism to the West. And I was at an Alan Watts seminar. I was the youngest person there. I was 15 or 16. It was at Bucks County Seminar House in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Sure.
And during a break in the weekend program, during the lunch break, I was outside and somebody was doing an eerie slow motion exercise out on the grass. I had no idea what the heck he was doing. But as soon as I saw it, I was entranced. I was mesmerized. I thought, wow, I feel so relaxed. I feel so great. This is like meditating. And so I asked the guy when he finished, I said, what was that you were doing? He said, Tai Chi. I said, did you make that up? I didn't know anything about it.
That's great.
He said, no, there are teachers of this, that it's a traditional healing art and martial art. And when I got back to New York, where I was living, I found on a bulletin board advertisement for someone teaching Tai Chi. I mean, I started from a really bad place, you could say. My health was messed up. I had chronic bronchitis. I was catching every cold that anybody got. I had strep throat 3 or 4 times a year. I had insomnia. My nervous system was so messed up that, okay, this would be my state when I was relaxed. Not because I'm mentally extra nervous. This was just the state of my nervous system. And I never thought I'd be able to teach this or reach any kind of high level in it at all. I wasn't even doing it for my health. I simply, my stupidity saved me. I had the virtue of intelligent stupidity. That is, I didn't know it was supposed to be good for me. Why do I say that, the virtue of intelligent stupidity? Because if you try too hard to get there, it's because of your assumption of where you are now. And so every attempt to improve reinforces the status quo. You don't listen to a piece of music to reach the finale. If that were the case, as Alan Watts used to say, all music would only consist of finales. You enjoy the unfolding process. This is what happened with me with Tai Chi.
So your feeling for these arts emerged first from just an appreciation of the beauty. You were just intrigued when you saw someone practice.
How it made me feel, even from just observing the practice.
Just you saw and you had a sensation. What was that sensation like?
Well, there's an entraining effect. There's 2 aspects to external Qi healing, the aspect of Qigong that is applied to a client. One is that you tune into the universal Qi of heaven and earth, the original Qi of heaven and earth. When my teacher, Dr. Wong, the Taoist abbot that I trained with, when he was asked why his acupuncture was so effective, he said, when he does acupuncture, 针不是针，全身是针. The needle is not the needle. He said, my whole body is the needle, an antenna for the original Qi, life force of heaven and earth. So that's one aspect of Qi healing. The other is that there's an entraining effect. If you're in the Qigong state, the physiologic state, the mental state, the spiritual state, in tune with yourself, in tune with the forces of the universe, then it's like hitting one tuning fork and the other one begins to resonate in harmony with it. So this is, I think, what happened when I watched that person doing Tai Chi out on the lawn, sensing, oh, this is what he's doing. It feels so wonderful. I'd like to learn how to access that state easily. And that's one reason someone trains Tai Chi and Qigong. So you become familiar with it, and so you could access it. And in that process, hopefully anyone who learns it is also going to have a resonating effect, an entraining effect on other people, so that through the example, not only of your behavior, your words, your state of mind, but the example of your energy, other people become more peaceful, more in tune, more relaxed, more in balance.
So you watch a crane,
Mhm.
you watch the willow tree, the flow of the water. How can I be like the crane? How can I be like the water? How
Yes.
can I be like the willow
So
tree?
we're reawakening our Paleolithic senses and Paleolithic wisdom. And we need to remember when we're doing these, animal exercises, like you mentioned, the crane, or doing the bear, or the monkey, or the deer, the tiger. These are part of the experiences of the people living in those times who created these wonderful Qigong techniques. That is, Hua Tuo in the 2nd century, famous doctor of Chinese medicine, he didn't go to the zoo.
Right, yeah, exactly.
People forget
You didn't
that.
read a book. Let me look
No,
up some
that's right.
natural movement.
Or
Oh, my
watch
God.
on YouTube. Hey, how do monkeys move? Okay,
Right.
I'm going to turn on the TV channel. And, no, this is part of your experience of life. As Lao Tzu says in the Tao Te Ching, the classic of Taoism, approximately 5th century BC, he says, "Ren fa di, di fa tian, tian fa dao, dao fa ziran." What does that mean? Ren fa di, people follow the earth. Right? We have to live in harmony with the earth. There's actually no choice. So people follow the earth. Earth follows heaven is the second line of that poem from the Tao Te Ching. What does that mean? Earth follows heaven means there's a harmony between the deepest sense of spirituality, what life is, who you are, and our life in the natural world. So, Ren fa di, di fa tian, tian fa dao. Heaven follows the Tao. The Tao follows nature, what is so of itself. So nature is the model. And if you think again of the times Lao Tzu was living in, or the founders of any Qigong style, they lived in nature, from nature. You step outside and you hear the gibbons, those monkeys, calling with their mysterious call in the mountains. And you have to be alert because there could in fact be a Siberian tiger, common in China. You're inspired by the beauty of the deer passing by and wondering, I wonder what gives them their vitality. Maybe it's something to do with their lightness of movement, their lightness of being. Maybe it's something to do with their grace of movement, their balance. How can I find that in myself? They're my teachers. That's my university. So I always tell people, practice outdoors whenever you can, when the weather's comfortable. Do your Qigong, but also get out into the wilderness. That's going to reset your whole body's biological clocks. It's going to reset melatonin in the brain. No wonder people have a lack of dreams today, in every sense of the term. Sleep disorders are epidemic, but so is a lack of big dreams, of noble goals in life. Melatonin levels, which are responsible for deep restorative sleep and dreaming. And taking Ambien doesn't get you there. It doesn't.
Right.
I mean, biologically, it really doesn't.
Sure.
I've spoken to some sleep therapists about this. The only way you can get to that place of deep sleep, get enough exercise, good diet, take care of your emotional health, but very importantly, be outdoors, especially during sunrise and or sunset light. That optimizes the levels of this critical brain chemical. Then we sleep more deeply. We get the wonderful healing benefits of a life in nature, and we awaken our dreams. Because if we don't have dreams and noble goals, kids are going to grow up without a goal in their life.
As you state, people are not aligned with or in touch with the natural rhythm of wakefulness and sleep. If you think about just the simplest rhythm, you're asleep and you're awake. If nature is something you only go visit every now and then, or see, let's watch a nature show on TV. Right. Wait, I get some nature on my device here. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. As we would say in Chinese, 说得好, Well put, Michael. Well put. Whereas these practices developed out of nature as an expression of the natural world, now they're our way to return to nature.
To it.
Yeah.
Last week I was on the road and I was in a lot of airports. And I'm at the gate from my United flight at O'Hare. I think it's still the world's busiest airport. And the scene is completely chaotic and crazy. And my flight's a little bit delayed. So I do my Qigong.
Reminds me of a story I heard from one of my beloved teachers, Madame Gao. She's passed on now. She told me a story of one time when she was in Beijing, which is where she was from. She saw her teacher, the famous Chen-style Tai Chi Grand Master Feng Zhichang, standing at a bus stop. And she went over to him to greet him. But as she was getting closer, she noticed something very strange. He was making tiny little movements. His arms were making it was almost invisible. You wouldn't notice it unless you really look carefully. It's as though he was spinning and circulating and moving the qi. So she went up to him and asked him, how he is, pleasure to see you, and so forth. And then she said, Feng Lao Shi, Master Feng, I noticed something unusual as you were standing there waiting for the bus. Would you tell me what you were doing? He said, yes, use everyday life to find these moments where you could do a little bit of invisible training. Maybe you're standing in line for a ticket for a concert. Well, you want to spend some time relaxing, getting in touch. Okay, I'm going to practice belly breathing. Expand when you inhale, release when you exhale. You're slowing down the respiratory rate. You're reducing stress hormones in the brain. You're building the DHEA, the body's anti-aging hormone. Or if you're doing everyday activities at home, maybe you're pushing a sofa or a refrigerator to clean behind it. Yeah. Use your whole body. That's right. Make it a Tai Chi movement.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
When I think about brushing my teeth, pouring the bottle of wine, toasting.
Yes, exactly. That's because we're better organized.
Yeah.
We know how to relax. We know what muscles to use for the task. We know how to modulate stress reactions so we don't use not only the wrong muscles, but too much effort. We don't swat a fly with the sledgehammer. Yeah. So we find the benefits really in everyday life.
This has just been so fabulous.
That's been great.
I say we wrap this up and we'll go in there and actually practice.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's work out.
I just wonder if there's anything else you'd like to share or closing thought.
Well, how about the favorite saying of one of my favorite Qigong masters?
Yes.
That was Wang Xiangjai. He said, Ping Chang, Ji Shi Fei Chang. The ordinary is the extraordinary. The ordinary. Our bodies, our world, nature, just as we are, if we're attentive. The ordinary is the extraordinary.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.